Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in again this week. This is Lucas once again. Today we're actually going to be doing a bit of a different project once again. We're going to be working on my Wii U Gamepad shown right here. So the issue with this Gamepad is I got it from GameStop a long time ago. And when it came, in the box, for some reason, the joysticks were like super greasy. And it was really disgusting. As you can see, this joystick is greasy again. The thing about this is I haven't touched this in a very, very long time, hence all the dust on it. For some reason, if I don't play with this gamepad, these joysticks just grease up again, and it's the most disgusting thing ever. I don't know exactly what causes that, if it's like the last jelly sandwich some kid put all over it before selling it or what, but it is pretty gross. As you can see on the other side, I've already taken the liberty of toweling this one off because, well, it needed it. But yeah, I mean, it's just a really weird thing. I just dabbed a paper towel on it and it's good again. But it's really gross and I don't want to be using it. So my solution to this is I have these extra thumbsticks over here. So these are actually both from an Xbox One controller. This is a metal one, pure metal, and this is an used rubber one, just a spare that I had. I took them off, put new ones on, but these were actually in extremely good condition, so I saved them for a project coming up. I'm not exactly sure which one I'm going to use just yet, but regardless, we're getting rid of this one, and we're going to be putting on these new ones. So to start with this, you're going to have to flip your Wii U over. Like I said, this thing is really gross, so I don't even want it touching my air hockey table. But to start off on it, we're just going to take the battery cover off. To do that, it's just a regular screw. There's two of them right here on the back. Just loosen them up, and they should come right off. Then you should just be able to lift it right up, and there it comes. Next, you're going to want to remove this battery in here. So, it looks like there's a tab, yep, right there. Never actually been into one of these before, so this will be a bit of a learning experience for me as well. But it looks like it just pulls out and lifts out. The next thing I saw when I was looking up how to tear these down is there's a bunch of screws in underneath all these little covers. They're all over the place. I'm just pointing to them right now. Looks like 4 of them up here, 2 right here, another 2 at the bottom of the hand pad, then another 2 at the very bottom. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to peel those up, and then there will be screws underneath them. These screws are all going to be tri-wing bits, and that's just Nintendo's version of a security bit. Let's see if it will actually focus. There, you can kind of see it. So that's just a tri-wing bit. This is just a generic one that came in my set of mini screwdrivers. But I'm going to take these out real quick, and then I'll catch back up with you in a minute, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we now have removed all those screws. There are no screws between these two pads right here. Those are just little stops from when you set down the console. Other than that, though, the pads themselves are just these little things right here. They're super little thin pieces. So just be aware, they're probably not going to come off perfectly. You might get a dent or two on them. I just used an extremely tiny flathead screwdriver and just went to town on lifting those up, tried to go in at a side and then pull them up. But now we're to the point where we can lift this backing off, hopefully. Just gotta make sure we did it correctly. Looks like we did because it's coming right off. Then there's a little plug right here. You're just gonna grab that plug and pull up. Make sure you're pulling from the plug itself and not the little wires. But once that's off, we're now to the back. So we got these guys right here. Make sure you're little trigger buttons on the back. We can leave those for the time being. I believe all we need to do is get this guy up right here. In order to do that, it looks like we're back to the standard screwdriver rather than the tri-wing. So we'll start with this one. We'll just remove some of the screws until we can lift up this plastic plate, because as we can see, oh, there goes those. We'll put those back on later. But as you can see, right underneath the thumbstick is where these plastic housings are. Get this one right here. Try and keep these together as good as possible. So there's 3 out. Is that it? Let me take a look at it. So there are 4 of them. So right up here, there's one right behind that button. You can probably just leave the button. Yeah, button's not going to interfere with it, so we can just leave that. The less I can disturb, the better. Then it's just going to pull right on up. So once you get it up, you're going to see there's one ribbon connector holding it on. So for this ribbon connector, you're going to want to grab your tweezers. Okay, so now we're just going to lift this up right here with the tweezers. Just slowly go at it. There it goes. Flicked right up. So now we can just pull this right on out of it, because that was what was holding it down. From there, this is going to be our joystick. So there's 2 more screws right here. Those are our next ones to get out. And it looks like they've switched it back to the tri-wing on us. So we're going to put this tri-wing back on. Okay. So once we're to this point, all we have to do is lift it out. And we can see there's the little thumbstick. It's just going to pull straight off. I'm going to throw that in the trash in a sec. Then I'm going to try these nice metal ones first. A little less grip on them, but they look a lot better. Well, let's just line it back up. There we go, all lined up. We're going to put it in. Then I'm just going to screw these down off camera and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I just finished screwing those back down. So as we can see, now we have a nice looking metal thumbstick that will never get all jelly sandwiched again. Looks really good. They're a little higher than the originals, but I honestly kind of like that. Now all we got left is to do one more. But first, let's put this side back together while we remember how. So first off, we're going to get rid of the tri-wing. We're going to go back to the regular. Then we're just going to take this, lift up the bar again on this little pin connector. And we're going to send it right in. Then you'll just push it down. Now all we have to do is put those screws back in. So I remember one went down here. One went right up here in this hole. We had another one right on the side over here. Then we had one that went right in here. There we go. That stayed still. So we're good. So now that's all back together and is working. So all we have to do is do the exact same to this side. I'm going to do this one off camera because, well, I think y'all understand and get the picture on this. Remove the 4 screws, take out the ribbon, take off the actual joystick pad behind it, and then you're good to go. Just put in that new stick. So I'm going to get this reassembled, then we'll take a look at it when it's all done. Okay, so here we are with the new Xbox One metal thumbsticks reinstalled onto the system. We got rid of those gross, nasty jelly ones, and now there are these nice metal ones that will never have that issue. So I'm not sure if that's a common problem with these systems, or if I just ended up buying one of the grossest gamepads ever. But yeah, it's nice and simple and easy to do. So say you just wanted an Xbox One thumbstick on your Wii U gamepad just for the feel. It is very easy to do. The only thing that you need to be aware of is the 2 screws that hold in the actual stick itself. Those ones are a bit fragile, the pieces that they screw into, so just be careful as you take those 2 out. But other than that, it's a simple procedure just with a lot of screws. So yeah, it's a nice little way to dip your foot into doing a project like this. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out in the comments, and thanks again for watching.